Hey friends, this is Life Coach Rich. Today we're talking about another basketball concept as far as what do you need to do to get in the right mindset mentality to play basketball. Maybe this is going to be applicable to other sports as well. And so specifically, I'm talking about basketball. I've coached basketball for a long time, and so there's a different mindset that you have to switch into, a business mindset, an attack mindset, an aggression mindset that you have to do whenever you're trying to go and play basketball. And so what I mean by that, and that's nothing new related to football, maybe soccer. I'm not as familiar with soccer. I played 1 year of soccer in high school, but you do have to get into a different focused mindset whenever you're playing a sport. So let's say, for example, basketball. I'll tell you a little story. We had, I think it was on. He was either 12 and under or 14 and under. I'm not sure what year it was. Let's say it was 14 year old. I think it was. And one of the players, he was the tallest one, the biggest guy on our team. And we were behind by, 6, 8 points or something like that. And then this was sort of the third quarter. I said, hey, we need to step it up. And so he took over the game. He took over the game. He started getting, going hardcore for those rebounds. Something clicked in his mind. Going hardcore for those rebounds. He would get those, take it in, go, make the layup, get an and one, get to the free throw line, make his shots. So then this was towards the end of the game, just like a minute or so left. One of the referees came and stood next to me. I was standing there, and he's like, hey, good game, coach. It looks like number, and I don't remember his number. I remember his name, but I don't remember his number. I'll say 21. He said, looks like 21 just finally decided he was the big man on the court, and he took over and he's giving props to him. He's giving credit to him. And that's why we came back, because our other guys that usually scored more were struggling. And so somebody has to step it up. And really, you need to have that same kind of aggressive mindset going into every game, because sometimes people are going to be a little bit more on and a little bit more off. And so all of you need to be really locked in, focused, aggressive mindset, so that you're giving everything that you can to that game. Now, fast forward. The next season, this same player, maybe it was 2 seasons later. Then I go to him, and this is in our sort of one of the season ending tournaments. It was sort of like whenever we played regular games, they would do better, and we would get to a tournament. It's more of a pressure situation. You, depending upon what you do in this game, depends on where you go in the bracket and then who you play, and it's going to affect everything. And some people just can't take that pressure. For this particular player, I told him, I was trying to encourage him. I said, you're just a great player, and you need to get into that different mindset. Just because he would just sort of go out there and, hopefully we're all gonna play good, and he just wasn't real aggressive, and sort of just had a ho hum kind of mindset. And I just tried to push him, and say that he had the skills to take over a game if he wanted to. And so that's what I was trying to get across to him. I said, what about if you go and you walk on that court, and you look at all those people, and you say in your mind, you tell yourself, and this is important related to mindset. You tell yourself, there is none of those players standing on that same court as I am are going to stop me today. None of those players are going to stop me today. That's the kind of mindset you have to have going into that game. There, and then let's say you're in the middle of the game, and then let's say somebody steals the ball from you. You can go ahead and mentally acknowledge that was my fault. I didn't protect the ball good enough. He won't do it again. And so you're continuing to push forward. You're continuing to fight. Let's say you get blocked. Okay. Usually when somebody gets blocked, it is the dribbler, it's the shooter that didn't allow enough space, that didn't get enough separation. I didn't fake like I was going to jump back and shoot it and then go ahead and go on in and blow past that person for the layup. A lot of times it's not so much the skill of the other person, it's the player that did something wrong to allow that other person to block. Maybe I went into a 1-2 step. I'm going, and here comes that layup, and you allowed that other big guy to go ahead and time that block. Those kind of things. Even in the midst of a game, you have to be aggressive. You have to put those things behind you. If something happens that's wrong, that there's a mistake, don't worry about it. You've got to have a short memory. You put it behind you. You continue to say, hey, okay, that was my fault. That was a good block. Won't happen again. And you keep pushing forward. You're going to learn from those mistakes. Keep pushing forward because that's your teammates are depending upon you. You're depending upon your teammates. And so if everybody goes out there, oh yeah, whatever, just whatever happens is going to happen, then you're not setting your goals high. You're not trying to achieve to a higher level of competition, and you're going to have mediocre results. I'm sorry, it's just the way it works. If everybody's out there going, yeah, whatever, then probably whatever's going to happen, and you're going to probably win some, against really bad teams, but you're going to lose games that you should have won because people are just not pulling their own weight. Um, let's say you have three people pulling their own weight and really invested. You got two other people that could care less, and that affects the whole team because you have to have five players all working together to try to win against five other players that are all working together and giving it their all instead of you have two or three people, doing the best that they can. And the other two are just like, man, whatever, I'm still going to sleep good tonight, even if we lose. Well, that's, you're not setting the bar high, and so you're not pulling your weight in what the team is trying to achieve. It doesn't care, it doesn't matter to you. Well, if it doesn't matter to you, just go sit down and then let somebody else come in that it does matter to. Just tell the coach, sub, hey coach, I need a sub because I'm not really worried about it. I'm not really worried if we win or lose. Okay, well, Jimmy, thank you for letting me know. And Jimmy, go and I got a bench. I got a seat for you right over there on the end of the bench. So go and warm that bench, and I'll get back to you later. So that's the kind of mindset you have to have. There's a lot of things you can look at online. Look at different NBA players, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, and they just constantly push themselves to continue to get better. They were trying to be some of the best players in the world. Okay. And so what can you do different this week to improve your game? What can you do different this week to separate yourself from somebody else? Don't have yourself barely better than this other guy right here. Sometimes he goes in and sometimes I go in. You continue to practice and you have that strong fighter kind of leaning into it, aggressive mindset that I'm gonna from the tip off all the way to the end, I'm giving it 110% and everything I got. And you're gonna get a lot better results whenever you do that. And you switch into that other mindset. And going back to that player, when I told him, I said, what about if you said there's nobody on this court right here that can stop me? He said, no, coach, I couldn't do that. Now he had the skills to do it, but he just didn't have the mindset to do it. He was just sort of, you know, I'm going to play and whatever happens happens. And so he really underperformed. Unfortunately, that player underperformed to his potential. I tried to get him in different mindsets. I tried to help him push himself. I tried to encourage him that he had the skills to take pretty much anybody on the court, but he just didn't have the right mindset. He couldn't flip that in his brain, and I'm not sure why. Maybe it's just sort of his personality. But to really achieve better in any sport, specifically basketball, then you don't get anywhere further by being passive. You want to be aggressive, not meaning you need to go out there and hurt people or something, but you're basically having that mindset of I'm going to give it 110%. These guys are not going to stop me. And even if they do stop me momentarily, they're not stopping. I'm continuing to get back up and go and go and go and go because I'm not going to quit. That's the kind of mentality that you have to really push yourself and to achieve more. And also, if you practice with that same mindset, it's not so different whenever you get into a game. It's you practice with that. You practice with that hunger. You practice with that desire to continue to get better. Um, and you're going to achieve more than you would have if you just say, whatever. It doesn't work that way. You're going to achieve much more if you continue to fight and push and have an aggressive mentality. And guys, we need to continue improving together. Hopefully that was helpful. This is Life Coach Rich. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.